Mai Kako, a Komamida Curtain Call, a weekly program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. The annual Hui No'eau Juried Show ends on February 21st. The juror this year is the world-renowned artist Abigail Romanchak, whose art represents an Hawaiian sense of identity and culture and believes native cultures are jeopardized once they stop speaking to people in the present. She selected 115 works from 87 artists out of 330 submissions. Her juror's choice was this multimedia work by Nancy Young entitled Loss, Grief, Angry Birds, Lahaina 2023. Standing in front of this work, one feels everything in the title. But more than that, the detail in the work is overwhelming and adds to the viewer's emotional reaction to it. This is a work one needs to examine closely to fully appreciate this outstanding piece. The Maina birds add to its overall impact. One can almost hear their rage. Honorable mention went to Jennifer Owen's Salt-Fired Stoneware Remember January 6th, number 2. It is an impressionistic image of our nation's Capitol Rotunda with the original phrase from the Pledge of Allegiance, "One nation indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." Would that it were true. It is a powerful statement. This show is filled with excellent work in many different media, and several artists have more than one piece in the show. One of my first reviews in 1998 of the Feast or Famine 2 show at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center, where I was introduced to the work of Tom Sewell and Michael Takimoto, among others, both of whom are in this show. Mr. Sewell has 2 sculptures in this show. This is marginal notes in the Book of Life, oblique or enigmatic. There's nothing oblique in this work, but enigmatic? Oh, yes. His other enigmatic and oblique comes from this collection of sugar mill detritus. Mr. Sewell has been redefining the tools, dyes, and machinery of the sugar mills into sculpture since 1990s. One can see his work outside the Sugar Museum in Pu'unene. This piece lives up to its name, that is for sure. Michael Takimoto has done this acrylic on wood painting aptly titled El Gato, Ray Ray, and Me. Mr. Takimoto consistently presents challenging, inspiring, thoughtful, and surprising work. Besides Miss Owen, there are a few more artists in this show who also have notable work in the Schaefer Portrait Challenge. In contrast to Barkley Hill's portrait of Ms. Owen, this koa, copper, and glass sculpture, Portal number 17, is more like what we expect from him, and these dancing teapots are indicative of not only his skill, but also his keen sense of humor. Nida B. Bangerter has a monumental portrait of Debra Fair at the Schaefer Portrait Challenge, and she managed to create this acrylic on canvas diptych flotilla. It is a surrealistic image of an imaginary sailing vessel of trash, tents, and boards. Inside one of the tents is a burning fireplace. The curvature of the earth is visible, and she has included outer space as well. Marianne Lee has 3 ceramics in the show. Ms. Lee invariably presents unique ceramics illustrating a beguiling narrative. This is Midnight at the Volcano. And here is Feeling Groovy. And finally, Rumble, 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 Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea, and Kilauea. Her creativity has no limits. I had to look twice at the label for this mixed media work, Fellow Travelers by Jefferson Stillwell. It was so far from the colorful, whimsical work Mr. Stillwell is known for, I wondered if he had been influenced by architect/artist Don Burnshouse. This is Mr. Burnshouse ink and acrylic Heat or Fever, and this is his ceramic animals. Tom Fought, who is known for his monumental sculptures and 6-foot ceramic vases, entered this tiny ceramic full boat. Jay Wilson, a pioneer of computer art, gives us this computer art presented as an original archival digital print, Bird, What Fun. It exudes joy and lightheartedness. Julie Haug finds infinite inspiration in cloud, sun, and their relationship to the land, sea, and waterways. This oil-on-panel enchantment is another example of the excellence this elicits from her imagination. If it was clear or obvious to your eye or mind what Lori Kaprowski was trying to convey with this oil on canvas, then the title, Manifest, would be no surprise. Tracy Dudley's acrylic works almost pour from the wall. In Knee Deep, she presents one of our most important elements so realistically, capturing not only the translucency of water, but also its movement. And here is her ceramic, Le'ahi. So many of our artists are highly skilled in several media. One Bright Pearl, an oil on canvas by Stephanie Sachs, is another example of her ability to find luminosity and watercolor-esque translucency in oil. It is always fun to discover a new artist. This triptych oil on panel up Baldwin Avenue is a marvelous impressionistic image. I love the contrast between Haleakala and the greenery of the estate. This is the first work I have seen from Nenea Haynes. I understand she intends to pursue an MFA, so I am confident it won't be the last. Another new artist to me, although not unknown to me, is Eileen Takayasu. She is responsible for the beautiful flowers at the Four Seasons. Now she has two paintings that caught my eye. This one of the legendary Kula gas station captured its simplicity and elegance. And this one, a water tank upcountry called Black Tank, is actually green, but the glorious upcountry sunset placed it in a silhouette. Linda Whittemore has been the premier monoprint artist here for many years, creating marvelous abstract works. So it was such a delight to see this oil on canvas with serendipitous title, The Old and the New. It is reminiscent of the work of her late mother, Margaret Bedell. This is Untitled No. 2, an oil pencil charcoal on board by Larry Burko. Mr. Burko says his work is a combination of caprice and control. This work is a clear representation of that credo. The circle is one of the most perfect creations, and here one can see the various permutations of that perfection, from ones that are compass-like to ones that are splotches. Then there is this mirroring in the dark and the light. It is a work that draws one in like a seducer. Elizabeth Keller is among our finest watercolorists. Here is her depiction of the iconic Ichiban Okazuya restaurant in Wailuku, and this is the wonderful backside cinder cone, Pu'upimoi, in Kanaio. I like to characterize her work as mysterious hyper-realism. This is a watercolor by Kaylin Adams entitled 1844 Mill Street. Note the detail in this work. It is Wyeth-esque. Motorcycle artist on hand is a sterling silver bracelet with mixed media by Betty Michelle Cambra. It features leather pouches of colored pencils, a jar of pastels, and a pad of paper that fits on one's wrist for ease of access when biking. Becky Lewis is a fiber artist whose work is at once mind-bogglingly complex and beautiful. This is a piece she calls Waves. One can almost see it undulating on the stand. These metal stilettos by Don Smith are a gift to Tom and Michelle Sewell. I would love to see Michelle in them. Perhaps she will wear them to the upcoming art affair. If you have ever been to the Hana side, you no doubt have traveled to the bamboo forest. Tom Camigio created this ceramic to remind one of the lushness and density of the forest. It is great to see the work of master collagist and painter Akira Iha. This is Nigiri Guchi, series number 125. It means crawling in entrance, usually to tea rooms. Mr. Iha always captures a well-worn character to his work, which is always fascinating. Other notable works include Lolly Groth's Dry Point Evening Song, Carrie McCarthy's Oil on Linen Cloud Base, Bo Brady's copper etching Silent Satellites, Debbie Von Tempsky's Oil on Linen Teacher's Cottage, Jim Powland's intaglio etching on silk Rising Sun, Diana Lair's Oil on Multimedia Board Union, and Christine Wara's encaustic Four Square. The 2025 Hui No'eau Annual Juried Show closes on Friday. The gallery is open 9 to 4 Tuesday to Friday. It's an excellent show, and you only have a few more days to catch it. Heli on up there. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Mahalo nui loa for joining me. I'm Paul James Brown. Maui strong. Ahui ho.